Today we are going to continue our yesterday's lesson about price elasticity of demand. I gave you some of the explanation about elastic or inelastic demand. Basically, this shows us how consumers are responding to the change in price of the product. And we measured, I think we measured something in our yesterday's lesson, whether it is elastic or inelastic. We use the formula of elasticity to measure the elasticity. So actually elasticity means it shows percentage change in quantity demanded due to percentage change in price of the product. Basically, this is the formula of price elasticity and demand. I am giving you another formula, another form of measuring price elasticity of demand. Okay, how to measure percentage change in quantity over original quantity into 100. Alright. And what is change in percentage change in price? That is change in price over original price into 100. These are the percentages which we are going to use them in order to measure. So these 200 they are cancelled with each other. Now it is the double division. Change in quantity over Q1 divided by change in price over P1 in. Okay, this is the only case. Now what is happening? Actually, we are going to inverse this thing in order to remove this division sign. What we are going to do? Change in quantity over original quantity multiplied by P1 over change in price. Now we are writing this change in quantity over change in price into P1 over Q1. We are changing the position of this change in delta P over here. So if you are feeling difficulty in measuring the percentages, you can use the same formula. Like if I say find the price elasticity of demand by using this derived formula, like at 10 we said there is 50 demand, at 9 we are having 60 demand. So how can we find the price elasticity of demand? What is change in price, change in quantity, that is Q2 minus Q1, that is 10, and change in price is minus 1. And if I say what is the original price, it was 10 and original quantity was 50. Okay, P1 over Q1. Now what will be the answer to this question? Again we are having the same answer as we did in our yesterday's lesson. Now this negative sign is telling us that price and quantity demanded, they are inversely related with each other. Okay? But we are going to take the absolute value. What is the absolute value? That is 2. Now if this 2 is greater than 1, we say it is an elastic demand. It shows that when price changes by 1%, okay, quantity demand will be responding by more than 1%. Alright, quantity demand will be responding by more than 1%. So this is what we say, this is called the price elasticity of demand. Keep it in mind, if you are starting the change from 10, then this price elasticity of demand is measured at this point. And if you are starting the change from 9 to 10, then price elasticity of demand will be measured at this point. Okay? From where the change has started, that is P1 and Q1. Alright? Usually we use the midpoint elasticity. What is midpoint elasticity? Rather to write P1 over Q1, we are writing average price and average quantity. That will be right. Now the same formula that can be written like this. Yes. Change in price over change in quantity. Oh, sorry. Change in quantity over change in price into average price over average quantity. Sometimes it is asked, what is the midpoint elasticity? This is called midpoint elasticity. What does it mean? Now we have to change the average price. What is the average price? How to find average?
90 by 2.
Yes, 90. Add these two prices and divide it by 2. So this will be the average price. This is 9.5 now. And what is the average quantity? 110 divided by 2, that is 55. So if we write change in quantity is 10, change in price is minus 1, this is 9.5 and this is 55. Now this elasticity will be the midpoint. On average, what is the elasticity? Price elasticity of demand by using midpoint or average values of prices and quantities. Okay?
So we could find like this as well and this as well.
Then sometimes in MCQs it is asked what is the midpoint value of price elasticity. That's why I am clarifying. Usually we use this one from where change is started. But sometimes in your MCQs paper it is given the average price elasticity of demand lies in between these values. Some ranges are given in the answers. So in that case you will be using this formula. This is the right one actually. Okay. Now what will be the price elasticity of demand when we talk about this is the demand curve and price is going to change from 650 units are demanded. Okay, you can say here the price is 10, the price goes to 8, now 50 units are demanded and now 60 units are demanded. Can we find the price elasticity of demand by using this formula in this case? What will be the elasticity value? Price elasticity of demand. Now change in quantity is 10. What is change in price? Minus 2. What is the original price? That is 10. Original quantity was 50. What is the answer? Minus 1. It is unitary elastic. What it is? It is unitary elastic. That means 20% price has decreased and there is 20% increase in the quantity demand. The proportionate change in demand is equal to the proportionate change in the price of the product. That's why we say it is unitary elastic demand. Alright. So demand we studied in our yesterday's lesson about elastic, and I think inelastic demand we had studied if you were present yesterday. You were there.
इसमें हमने
ये मैंने करवाया था आपको नहीं इसमें करते हाँ ये हो यानी this is the third case we started today, that is unitary elastic demand. If I ask you to find another price elasticity of demand, then I will be coming to its application by using the revenue. Now another case of price elasticity of demand, that is about this demand curve. Now quantity remains fixed, price is changing from 10 to 15. Can you find the price elasticity of demand by yourself? Now see over here, price elasticity of demand change in quantity P1 over Q1. What is the change in quantity? Q2 and Q1 are the same one. There is no change in quantity demanded. So it's 0. Change in price is 5. Original price is 10. Original quantity is 50. Anything multiplied by 0 is what? So it is called perfectly inelastic demand. What it is? Perfectly inelastic demand. What do you mean by this? Perfectly inelastic demand. Alright? It means that whatever the price is changing, there is no change in quantity demand. Quantity demand is not responding to the change in price. Quantity demand does not respond to the change in price of the product. It will remain fixed. It is irresponsive. So these are the goods which are the perfect necessities. Alright? Now, another case of price elasticity of demand, which is also an extreme case, that is the demand. Now, price remains 50, and if we talk about quantity demand changes from, you can say 80 to 120. 50% quantity has changed. If you put up the formula over here, price elastic demand change in quantity over change in price into P1 over Q1. How much is the change in quantity? 40. How much is the change in price? 0. Original price was 50, original quantity was 80. What will be the answer now? Infinite. Anything divided by 0. Can we divide anything by 0?
No. Undefined.
Undefined. It is perfectly elastic demand. What do you mean by perfectly elastic demand? Perfectly elastic demand. It means that at this going price of the product, there is infinite demand of the product. Infinite demand. Now, if price slightly goes up, this is the market price. Every firm is the price taker now. Every seller is not the price setter. But whatever the price is present, he has to accept it. If price slightly goes up, one of the seller is asking to charge a higher price. His demand will be infinitely zero. None of the buyer will be going to that seller who is charging more than this market price. Its response will be infinitely zero. At this price, there is infinite demand of the product. The seller can increase his revenue by selling more and more units because every time he receives the same amount whenever he sells an extra unit. Okay? So these are the 5 different cases of price elasticity of demand. We measured them, and the values of price elasticity of demand, they lie in between 0 and 1 and then infinite. Either it can be 0 or between 0 and 1, that is inelastic, equal to 1, that is unitary elastic, or greater than 1 elastic, or infinite, which is perfectly elastic. So these are the different values which are present for the price elasticity of demand. Keep it in mind, whenever you are measuring price elasticity of demand, it comes a negative value. And negative sign is only telling us that whenever we measure it, either price is falling or quantity is falling. So which change is falling, that will come in a negative sign. Okay? Now, 1 or 2 more cases I want to explain to you, then I will be coming towards the revenue application of this price elasticity of demand. Another demand curve that is called a rectangular hyperbola demand curve. We have the 2 demand curves in our mind. This is a straight line demand curve. its slope is constant. Slope means the gradient, that is the slope. Everywhere its slope is constant. Now what about this type of demand curve? Is it having constant slope? Non-linear. This is called a rectangular hyperbola demand. A rectangular hyperbola demand. You might have studied your physics topic of hyperbola and parabola. This is hyperbola. Parabola means when we throw a stone, it takes a path like this. So when you throw a stone from the height, like a plane is moving or a helicopter is moving, and you throw a stone, it looks like it will be having this path. It comes down and it travels like this. That's why this is the meaning of hyperbola, basically I am explaining. Hyperbola means it has a different slope. First it is steeper, then it becomes flatter. Okay? This hyperbola demand curve is having price elasticity demand equal to 1, unitary elastic. Because any percentage change in quantity and price, they will be cancelled out. If price is falling by 10%, quantity demand will also be increasing by 10%. Therefore, it will have unitary elasticity of demand. Okay, what it is? It is unitary elasticity of demand. Okay, so we find this thing, the hyperbola demand curve. Government is using it in our next chapter. We will be using this demand curve because income of the people, the sellers, that will remain constant along this demand curve. I will show you how to calculate the income or revenue of the people when they are using this price elasticity or demand concept. Now come towards the other application of this demand curve related to total revenue. What do you mean by total revenue? Do you know? Do you know revenue means what? Revenue means the receipts of the sellers after the sale of the product. Like total revenue or total expenditure, whatever is your expenditure, that is the revenue of the school. Clear? Whatever the fee you are paying to the school, that is your expense. But at the same time, this is the revenue of the school. So seller's point of view, on the seller's point of view, it is revenue. On the consumer point of view, it is the total expenditure. If I am buying this board marker, its price is 50 rupees. If I buy 2, so my total expenditure will be 100. Okay? But at the same time, that will be the revenue of the seller. Okay? So can we write this thing, price into quantity, that is called total revenue or total expenditure of the consumers. Okay, now come towards the elasticity point again. This is the main thing which I wanted to explain to you. The application of price elasticity and demand, how this concept will be applied in the real life when we are using price elasticity and demand. This is the demand curve. We said at price 50, at price 10, 50 units were demanded. When price goes to 9, what is the quantity demanded? 60. If I look over here, price, quantity and total revenue. At price 10, 50 units were demanded. So 500 is the revenue. At price 9, 60 units are demanded, 540 is the revenue, a total expense of the consumers. What is happening to the revenue now? Due to fall in price, revenue is increasing. If you look here, the rectangle, this is the first rectangle, price P1 and Q1, this is our first rectangle, the total revenue. After the change The new rectangle. Okay? So when price decreases and total revenue increases, or price increases and total revenue decreases, they move in opposite direction. They move in opposite direction. We say this demand curve will be elastic. This is an elastic demand when by decreasing price total revenue of the seller is increasing. Can I draw it in this case? Here I am taking price and total revenue. They are negatively related. They are negatively related. They are moving in opposite direction. So these are the goods we say they are the luxurious products, or they have the substitutes with each other. I can give you the example of television sets, cell phones. When the television sellers or cell phone sellers, they decrease the price, their revenues will be increasing. Because these are not the necessities. When they decrease price, so these products are price sensitive. A slight decrease in price will have more increase in the total revenue of the seller. What I said? When there is a slight decrease in price, more demand will be responding to this change in price of the product. So we say, when you are dealing in a product in the market in order to sell it, and you know there are so many competitors which are also selling the same type of product. So what you have to do, if you decrease the price, your total sales revenue will be increasing. Okay? Our school fee structure is lower than the competitors, that's why our revenue will be increasing. We have to apply the concept. You might have listened to the fruit hawkers. In the evening, what are they doing? They are reducing the price and they are able to sell all of the quantity available with them. So now, people, they will buy more, they will respond more. If the demand is elastic, and then definitely the seller's income or seller revenue will be increasing. Clear or not? Now come towards another type of demand curve which is inelastic. Okay? Now previously we said what is the price now at 10 there were 50 units which were demanded. Now price goes to 15 and 40 units are demanded. Now what is price, quantity and total revenue? At price 10, 50 units were demanded, 500 was revenue. Now at price 15, 60 units, 40 units are demanded. So it is now 600. Is it opposite to the previous one? Now by increasing the price, the revenue of the seller is increasing. Okay? Now we see over here, as price increases, total revenue will also increase. And as price decreases, total revenue will also decrease. Madhur, is it clear? Now they are moving in same direction. Exactly, you are right. So can I say here the revenue and price, they are positively related. As price is increasing, revenue will also be increasing. These are the essentials, necessities are complementary goods. Necessities are complements. They are used together. Okay? Like fuel prices, if we are maintaining a car, so whenever fuel prices are increasing, can we decrease its consumption? The revenue of the government or the sellers, that will be increasing. Alright? So one of the cases which we should be doing right now, that is unit elastic. In that case, what is happening? Should I raise from here? The unit elastic demand curve, this is the demand curve. At price 60, 50 units are demanded. At price 5, 60 units are demanded. What is the revenue now? 6 and 50 units, 300. And at 5, 60 units, again it is 300. There is no change in revenue. When there is no change in revenue, we say it is unit elastic demand. Now here when we draw like this, usually we find most of the MCQs are related to this topic. So here revenue does not change. It remains 300 even though price is changing. Okay? So when there is no change in revenue due to the change in price of the product, we say it is unitary elastic demand. And in case of rectangular hyperbola demand, we have the same thing. The revenue or income that will remain same. You can draw the same one, the same diagram. But here revenue is same. If you are calculating elasticity by using the midpoint, then it will be unitary. Otherwise it cannot come unitary. Alright? Use the midpoint elasticity formula to find unit elastic demand. Because of price will be 5.5 and average quantity will be 55. Then it will become equal to unitary. Otherwise, if you are putting P1 and P1, it cannot be like this. Alright? So, can we have a few minutes left over to do one very important thing for today? What's that? Now the same demand curve, like I'm going to do a trick with you people. Price is 10, 1 unit is demanded. Price is 9, second unit is demanded. At price 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Here 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. As price is falling, quantity demand is increasing. In a simple way, if you draw the diagram of demand over here, so this demand curve is downward sloping. Price is falling, quantity demand is increasing. So what is the revenue? 10, 18, 24, 28 and then 30. What is happening? As price is falling, revenue is increasing. Is it the case? When price is falling, total revenue is increasing. Can you say this part of demand curve is elastic?
Yes.
The upper part of demand curve is elastic. Okay? Now what is happening over here? As price is falling, revenue remains same. This is unitary elastic. So in the middle, elasticity will be unitary. And after this, as price is falling, you can say 28, 24, 18 and 10. Now revenue is decreasing. So it is inelastic part of the demand. So one demand curve is having different values of elasticities. Upper part is elastic, middle is unitary, and below it is inelastic. And where quantity is fixed, that is 0, and where price is fixed, it is infinite. Clear? Now if I draw the total revenue shape, total revenue, what is happening to total revenue? First it is increasing, going to maximum, then start falling. So this is like this. When we take quantity and revenue on the axis, previously I was taking price and revenue. So when we see over here, this is the elastic part of revenue, this is unitary and this is inelastic. Clear? Is it sufficient or something is left over?
Both.
Something is left over. Like the necessities, they have inelastic demand, luxuries, they are having elastic demand, and substitutes are present, then there will be elastic demand. For complementary goods, it will be inelastic demand, and for habit forming and addiction, again, for those buyers, the demand will be inelastic. Those who are addicted of certain products like smoking, alcohol, for them these goods are having inelastic demand. Clear? So if government is going to increase the tax revenue, it should increase taxes on the necessities, on complementary goods, on addictive goods, in order to increase the tax revenue. And if it wants to increase the tax revenue for luxuries, then they have to decrease the tax rate, then their demand will be increasing. Okay, for luxuries, taxes should be decreased, then revenues will be increasing. Alright, that's all for price elasticity of demand. I think I took more time today as compared to previous lessons. So that's because tomorrow we will be having an off day. So I completed the price elasticity of demand, and in our next class I will be doing cross elasticity and income elasticities of demand. The two elasticities of demand will be left over, and I think so I will be able to complete this chapter on Monday or Tuesday, coming Monday or Tuesday. Okay, thank you.